Hi, I'm BJ, and this is the Arcane Alienist Podcast. Hey everybody, it's time for RPG a Day 2025. I think I had initially thought I would try to do a short installment every day, and here we are, nearly a week into, as the time of recording, is August, and I haven't done anything because I've been very busy. And this week I'm headed to a professional convention for work, so I don't think it's going to happen this year to just do a daily installment. So I'm going to fall back on my my past habits of just grouping several of the prompts together and tackling them at once. But I thought I might try to do something a little different from what I've done before. I am going to I'm going to split these roughly into three groups. So 10, 10, and 11. So I'm going to take the first 10 prompts today. I don't know if you can hear my cat trying to contribute to the conversation, but anyway. So let's look at the first 10 prompts, and they are, in order: patron, prompt, tavern, message, ancient, motive, journey, explore, inspire, and origin. So what I'm going to try to do here is create an adventure scenario where these keywords are going to fall into the kind of general order of the flow. Not to make it too linear, but sort of, maybe this is kind of a point crawl, or you can expand on, each of these could be a short encounter or a scenario that then leads you in the direction of the next. So patron, prompt, and tavern, and message. Those are the first four. So here's the sentence I just kind of put together. A patron prompts you to go to a tavern with a sealed message. And so here we could have a little bit of even begin the journey immediately where, the characters must have an established patron, either through backstory or maybe that's the first part of just a patron can be a quest giver, but I'm thinking patron more specifically, someone they've worked for or who has given them missions in the past. So they give them a sealed message and says, go to the tavern. Patron prompts you to go to a tavern with a sealed message. And that could be a little bit of adventure there on the end. Maybe someone's following you. Maybe someone's trying to steal this sealed message and you don't know what's in it. And you've been told not to open it. Maybe you can't open it. Maybe there's maybe it has some sort of magical seal that you yourself can't open, or that if you're talking about a group of player characters, none of them have the capacity to open. But assuming they get there safely, they meet. So now we have ancient, motive, and I put those together. It says, there you meet a member of an ancient order whose motives are mysterious or inscrutable. So even if you get to there's no adventure or encounters on the way to the tavern, but when you get to the tavern, now maybe something breaks out with somebody trying to steal it or trying to disrupt what's going on. You have no idea what's going on, right, at this point as the player. And then you resolve that, and from this, somehow you learn you must, so we're going to move into journey and explore. You must journey to a location and explore that location, probably a dungeon of some sort. So because this is coming together in my mind. And inspire, this one is really threw me for a loop the first time I walked through this. Inspire, because if I could have moved it somewhere else in the list and it would have made more sense. I guess I'm doing this kind of not exactly Mad Lib style, but but I wanted to keep them in order just to kind of try to come up with something I wouldn't normally come up with. And the only thing I can come up with here, the first thing I thought of is that you're exploring a dungeon on a quest. I thought of Indiana Jones. And in Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade, one of the three tests is the breath of God. And so not using inspire as in I'm encouraged to or motivated to, but inspire as breath. But, I think most of the people I play with would immediately pick up on that puzzle. So I'm envisioning some kind of puzzle or thing having to do with breath, inspire, that players might have to figure out. One thing I thought about was just having a riddle where the answer is breath or respiration. But maybe that's a clue to then how to maybe work a mechanism. Maybe there's a statue or a mechanical device that is built to look like a dragon or a giant or some other creature, and there's some way that you've got to get it to breathe, either to shoot a jet of flame or maybe just to have air somehow pass through its mouth to mimic the act of breathing. Maybe that's something that's required to move further on. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Let me know. It's something I can't flesh out right here. And so then we get to the final prompt is origin. Well, if you do this, you're going to learn the origins of something. And I think probably best the origins of this ancient order whose motives are inscrutable. So let's think about from a world building standpoint what this implies about wherever you're at. You've got a patron that you work for. So you're probably some sort of established adventurer, or if you're just kind of a first level character, your background has made you in the service of someone. Whether you work for some merchant or a noble person or a temple. But the patron prompts you to here's this sealed message. Don't look at it. In fact, there's a ward or something on it that keeps you from opening it. Deliver it to, and they'll give you a name at this tavern. Whatever adventure ensues there or at the tavern, you meet a member of an ancient order. I'm thinking of like in my home setting, the mythic world of Erd, where the gods really don't have much to do with people. The clerics draw their power from saints, which are the spirits of heroes who have passed on to the beyond. And it's not really clear how they connect to the gods, but the understanding is the gods just sort of are more represent natural forces of order, and they're spending all their time just trying to keep the world together by their own, what they do in terms of just holding the physical world together. And so, they really don't like people getting in their business. It's probably a bad idea if a god catches your attention because you've either intruded on their business and now they're going to be angry, or they're going to rope you into to helping them in a way that has nothing to do with your well-being, right? So maybe what we've got here, this ancient order, maybe this is, there are maybe cults or small groups of humans who maybe act more like mystery cults. If you think about, in the ancient Greek and Roman world where you would have sort of your public religious festivals and priests that sort of served the community or society, but then you would have these mystery cults that were sometimes a little more secretive, dedicated to one specific god and might have their own private ways of doing things. So maybe this is what we're talking about here, some kind of mystery cult dedicated to actually helping one of these distant gods. So that's why their motives are kind of hidden and inscrutable, and maybe this is the first time, the characters have learned about this particular thing. But there's something they need to go here. Here's a map. Here, go figure this out. And we've got a MacGuffin or we've got an objective, which we'll have to come up with. But probably skipping to the end, learning the origin. You may learn a little something about this particular deity or its mystery cult or what it does, what role it serves, or more about some maybe lost lore or history of the world that has been forgotten, along with, of course, I think, monetary rewards and treasure and XP, right? Because that's what we're really after when we're playing a game like Dungeons and Dragons or something like that. So there you go. You've got, you get a quest to go deliver a message, which then loops you into maybe something you didn't plan on doing that day. That kind of sounds like an Indiana Jones movie, doesn't it? You just kind of get sucked into it because you're there when things go down. You're trying to do one job, and then you figure out something else needs to be done. And then you go on a dungeon delving, and you learn a little bit about the magic and mystery of the world around you. So I think I'm going to stop there. And what I'll do is I'm going to try to do 2 more installments of this. And we may came up with 3 completely separate little game scenarios, or maybe we can come up with a broader one that can be linked together. And so I'll hold on to these prompts and my little sketch of what I've just gone through here, and then come back here in a week or so, or 10 days with the next 10 prompts on the list. I want to thank everybody who participates in RPG a Day. Be on the lookout for other podcasters, bloggers, YouTube creators who are participating. You can look for the hashtag RPG a Day 2025. And big thanks to Casting Shadows and Autocratic for always putting this together and organizing this for folks around the gaming sphere. Particularly to Casting Shadows, Anthony Boyd. He and I have chatted both online and played game together and done a few things over the last few years. And I think we may get together in the near future if we can and actually record something. So anyway, keep a lookout for that either here or on his Casting Shadows podcast. I'll try to put links in the show description. So till next time, I want to thank everybody for listening. Wherever you are out there, take care of yourself and make someone happy today.
Thanks for listening to the Arcane Alienist podcast. The music you're hearing is Come and Get It by Scott Holmes Music. The cover art is by Dave Bone. Be sure to check out his stuff at ironseer.com. You can leave me a message. I have my SpeakPipe account linked to the show description. You can also send me an email at arcane.alienist@gmail.com. Just embed a voice memo, or I'll just read the text to your email during a future episode. Once again, thanks so much for listening.